All right. Hey, gang. Jackalair here. And apparently we might be working now. Not entirely sure, but we'll give it a go. Refresh everything one more time. Awesome. All right. I wish there... I don't think I have a way to play music. Oh well. But we will... Shush. Where's the thing to pop out? That's pop out chat. There we go. Pop out chat. We'll be able to see how many people are looking, but it really doesn't matter at this point. All right, so here we are. It is Valentine's Day, or St. Valentine's Day, depending on how you refer to it as. And in honor of that, I decided to do a quick stream. Well, maybe not a quick stream. We'll see how far I can get, because I don't remember how to play this game. But it is a game about the game that my wife and I met on. Now, if you'll notice, there's a bunch of colored text over there. Ooh, this is going to be weird. Everything's backwards. Now, this is what's called, for those of you who don't know, I don't know how old all of you are, but it is called a multi-user dungeon, or a MUD. And MUDs were popularized mid to late 90s. There were MUDs and mushes, which is multi-user... I can't remember what mush stands for. But these are basically, if you remember the old text adventure games, this is what they were. So, for instance, we're going to take a look here. I've got my character. I'm already logged in. And we're going to just type commands here. Use up and down arrow keys for previous commands. So we're going to start out by looking. Now, a lot of things used to be ASCII art, and this used to say go, and it used to be in a little square. Now, due to formatting, it doesn't show that anymore. So we've got north, south, and down. We're going to go north. So we're going to go north, and we are at Park Place. Now, Park Place never got edited. There is an auto map that is showing. But we were going to do a whole Monopoly-themed thing for this area. So there is south. So we'll go south. And then we'll scan, which helps us look around. And we see down from us, there are things down there. So we're going to go down. And I believe we should be at the Grand City of Aelor, which Aardwolf went through and took out a bunch of the references to other stuff not too long ago. Let's take a look at my friends. Nope. Friend? There we go. So all my friends are offline. And half of these probably don't play the game anymore because it has been quite a while since I've been back. You can find the game at Aard, mud, mud.org. And it's a really nice community, and they've made a lot of improvements on it from what it used to be. So, for instance, when you used to have to say run south, 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 now you can actually type in run, and you can just say 8 south, and you will run 8 south. Gotta turn out how to figure out turn help map. Okay, so we want to learn about the map. We want to turn the auto map off. Help auto map. Okay. And we'll just type in auto map to turn that off, so that way when I go north and south, I don't see that. Okay, so the thing that actually got me to keep playing this game longer than anything normal was the fact that it had a questing system. Now the questing system is kind of neat, and I'm probably going to screw this up because I don't remember how to do anything. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at our spells. Okay, so these are our spells. And I apologize that the formatting is horrible. So I've got good spells and bad spells. Let me see if I can find my character sheet. Character. Stat. More. Looks like I might have been disconnected. So let's... bear with me just a minute. That is the preview, so I need to blank out you just for a minute. And we'll log back in. Oh. And I actually clicked. Well, I can't undo that. All right, so bear with me just a minute. Whoa. Drop that back below. Ah, the joys of live something or other. Okay, so limited that. Find area, select capture area. Bring this back down. I used to play in a program called Zmud, but I am on my Mac right now, as you probably noticed. So a lot of things that worked on PC just simply don't on a Mac. And of course Zmud is one of those. Alright, so let's get that back up to a readable size. Get that back in the middle. Okay, so we are going to do... We used to have to create fun scripts for this, but they kind of made it simpler. So they just made it to where we can type in the word spell up and then hit enter. And what it does is it goes through and it says, okay, what spells don't you have? And we are going to cast them on you. And you'll see you become better at skills. You can train skills up to a certain point. I believe it's up to 75. And then you can kind of go from there. Oh, someone's doing an auction. There are a lot of fun things you can do in this game. Questing was, of course, my favorite. Class war has begun. There are wars that you can go to. A lot of times what they'll do is you have to be, like, for instance, this one, you have to be level 16 to 37. And then you have to go through and you join up as a class. So all the paladins will go one way, all the warriors will go another, and they will try and take out the people who are in the other classes. All right, so let's go ahead and quest request. Okay, so we need to go. Thank you, Brave Jack Lair. Aardwolf's most heinous criminal, Akchek the Unseen, has escaped from the dungeon. Since the escape, he has murdered 18 civilians. The penalty for this crime is death, and asks you to deliver the sentence. Alright, so he is at the bar, which is in the general area of the Wayward Alehouse. Okay. Okay, so we recalled. We're back here. Speedrun? Help. Speedwalk. Contain a single run command. Your client. All right, so now we have the joy of finding the speedwalk. Luckily, I thought ahead and have a second thing open up. And the cool thing is that these used to be combined by different groups. The different guilds in the channel used to do it. And who are we going after? We're in the general area of the Wayward Ale House. Alright, this area replaces the adventurers. Okay, so we go run to Wayward. One of my sons is home. So run to Wayward. Alright, so now we run here. We scan. And we say quest info. And it says, okay, we are looking for somebody the unseen. So we're going to hunt unseen. Through here, heading north. We go north. I still don't see him. We're going to go north one more time. Okay, so we're going to look. None of these are angry, so we shouldn't get killed. So we're going to backstab the unseen. And we're going to cast Magic Missile, because I don't remember any of my spells. Cast Fire. Oh, Fire Blast does good. And I love whoever designed... There we go. Okay, so now we've completed the quest. We got some items that will look... And we'll cast Word of Recall. Aha, see, I'm remembering stuff now. And we'll go ahead... And we'll run our 8 south again to Quester. And we will say quest complete. And he will give me 10 quest points. No MCCP. Yeah. Okay, MCCP is something that they instituted a little while ago. And I don't know how to do it through the standard Bud client that I'm using. And what it does is it apparently compresses something along the way and helps them with their bandwidth costs, which I think is a really cool idea, that if you help them with their bandwidth costs, that you can kind of get a little bit better. Okay, so here we are. So here we are. I am, and you can put pre-titles on there. I am a Triton who can breathe water. I don't know why I am, but I am Jurassic Jackalair is better now. I am a male empath, which means I started life as a psionicist. And I can't stop that from scrolling. But let's see. I am traded in a harem for Cinny. Cinny, you can actually get married in this game. Cinny is my wife's character's name. I've got, 7 trivia points, a bunch of quest points. Quest completed. I've only failed 167. Campaigns done. Campaigns failed. Campaigns are like a giant quests that you do over and over and over again. Haven't done any duels. Hours online over 2,073. It's really sad. And started playing this game in 2001, which is a little bit of a misnomer because I actually deleted my first character and then started over. But yeah, and then train stats, and here are just some random quotes. Enjoy Comrade Jackalair as long as Mother Aardwolf and Chairman Lasher. Trivia point token. Warning, you can now be attacked by other players. That was always a great warning. But let's see if I can find stats. Alright, so there are my stats. Got some equipment bonuses going on. Equipment. Let's take a look at that. Alright, so the great thing about this game is that you can actually rename anything that you're wearing. Now, I am missing a head item. I don't know why. But, so a lot of the things that we've got are different items. So I've got an Aura of Trivia, which means I got enough trivia points. An Aura of Sanctuary, which helps me cuts a lot of damage in half. Amulet of Aardwolf, which I believe will take me to the inn. But we've got Ring of Regenerations, which regenerate. Go figure. And some of these are what are called Ard items. Now, Ard items are really super powerful items that are done by giving the questers. Here's my inventory. So I've got my balloon animal of Aardwolf. I've got coffee. I've got the stuff that we just picked up, and I've also got a bunch of stuff that I want to keep. So I've got the Fire Dragon Blade, the Adamantite Longsword, Testament of the Watchman, Collection Box, Sacramento Carafe. It's actually the game, it starts out really simple and then gets really complex from there, because you start out where it's like, okay, I need food to drink. So you get some food, you get some drink, and then you go from there. And then you slowly get, well, this is more food and more drink. We need more food, we need more drink. And it goes from there. You can also customize the prompt or the UI, which calling it a UI is kind of a misnomer. But so as you can see, I've got my hit points, my current, and then my maximum. I cast heal, so now I'm fully healed. I've got my mana next to it. I've got my moves, because you can run out of moves. It's very rare, though. Generally, it only happens in a few areas where it's designed to do that, like an area that's quicksand. I've got my quest points. I've got my alignment, and my total to next level. Now, if you see here, it ticks, and it ticks every 30 seconds. I've also got it listed to where here I just want to know when it ticks. I want to know how many hit points I have, how much mana I have, what my moves are, and what my quest timer is. The reason that I want those things is because let's say that I'm at home and I am sleeping in the jacuzzi, which means when you're sleeping in a jacuzzi or on any bed or bench or whatever you call it, because you can call things different. You can call things whatever you want, so it really doesn't matter. So for this instance, I am sleeping in a bubbling jacuzzi of love. My wife and I were newly married. That was kind of our dream. Now, excuse me, drink coffee. So as you can see, every tick, my stats are going up. Now, this is our personal, well, this is actually Cinny's personal house. So as we build things, we would spend money, and it would increase the different stats on it. So, for instance, you could say, okay, I want my bed to have a higher hit point recovery rate. I want my bed to have a higher mana recovery rate. Then you can customize them and increase them as you want to a certain maximum. There are also, in the game, you have who, and then you can type in who im, and these are the immortals. They're the ones who run the game. The game's generally run by Lasher, who's the head im, the clan of Wolf. And they run everything. Every once in a while, a player does get elevated from the masses to become an immortal. A few of our friends from a long time ago were immortals. I don't know if they still are or not. I can't remember how to check. I think it's Roster Wolf. Oops, can't type Roster Wolf. Roster 1 Wolf? Okay. Roster clan name then table. Aha. So Roster Wolf 1. There we go. So let's see. Who do I remember? Carpin, Cordial, Lasher. Wow. A lot of those have changed over. But I haven't played this game in 7 years, 8 years, something like that. It's been a long time. But I just decided to kind of hop on here, take a look around. We're going to wake up. And we're going to go south. We're going to go down. And we're going to run to Wayward. Because the Wayward Ale House actually looked like a good place to get stuff. So we're going to con all, consider all. Nope. Okay, some of my spells wore off, so we'll bring those back up. Curious where my helmet went. But yeah, there's actually, you can, if you're good enough at it, you can actually create areas in the game. So for instance, I actually created an area. Maybe we'll go there and take a look at it. Yeah, I don't remember where to go. I'm gonna have to take a look at a leveling guide if I actually wanna play it all. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's see if I can get to my area. Run to Citadel. Okay, I can do that. Helps if I type it out the right way. Citadel. There. And I apologize, there's no music. I did not have time to get the music set up. Okay. Alright, so the valley you travel through is marred by an opening caused by a recent earthquake. The sun casts trails of light that reach deep in the opening, illuminating what appears to be mason work. Looking in, you can see the sides of the crevasse form a rough staircase leading into the gloom. And then we've got the villagers standing here. And I seem to remember that I did something with them that nobody probably ever sees. Because, I mean, who really stops here and just like, I'm going to hang out with the villagers, with the bumpkins? I don't know. I guess that's the I guess that's the curse of being as modest as it is of a game designer, that if you create something, you run the risk of people never seeing it. So if I remember right, these guys stand around and they joke a little bit. One of them kicks a rock in there, and one of them spits in there. They have a little bit of a conversation. Nothing terribly important, but I don't know. It's kind of fun. But I'm bored here, so we're not gonna sit here. I don't remember. Maybe it's broken. I don't know. If I actually start playing again, maybe I'll have to ask them, hey, can I go and fix my area? Because it's kind of broken. There we go. Let's see. Damn it, Fred. I told you those chickens don't need to be planted so deep. Well, you're the one that suggested dynamite. I said one stick. One. The other villager hits the other with a hat. I thought you said one box. I had fun with this area. It's not until I'm now starting to understand why people who make games have so much problem. So many problems is because, first of all, you have to make the stupid thing work. And that's a huge part of the challenge, is getting the thing to work. So here we've got the angry aftershocks. These will actually attack you if you fall down here. But like you have to go through and say, okay, does this work? Do they actually attack? Okay, now we're down at the bottom. One of the small rocks that the villager dropped here. So when he's throwing rocks, this actually shows up when he does it. So it's kind of cool. North. We'll say I accept. Okay, so wow, this has changed a lot. They must have had to modify a lot while I was gone. Shush. But you get the idea. But what I was saying about the idea of a game designer is that the first thing you have to do is get it to work. So my first pass with that Citadel was so much like, okay, does this room connect to this room? Oh crap, I connected the wrong room to the wrong room. this graphic doesn't work. Why is this monster running around and not staying put? He needs to stand still so people can find him. Where did this monster go? There's a monster I created. It says it's alive, and it's gone, and I couldn't figure out what happened. All these things happen, and then you get it working, and only after you get it working, which takes so much time, then you get to go back and add in all the good stuff. Which is why a lot of times, like one of the games that I'm playing right now, just Deadpool is more fun when it's being a Deadpool game than when it's being a game with Deadpool in it. So for instance, when it's just being a game that has Deadpool and Deadpool's teleporting around and slashing people up and stuff, it's fun. Nothing great to write home about. When it's being a Deadpool game, like Deadpool runs around a corner and then the camera has to catch up with him, that's when it's got those moments of genius. And it's one of those things where which do you polish? Do you polish the mechanics to where the mechanics are flawless, or do you go back and add the humor that you know you want added in? These are the kind of paths that you have to think about going down, and where do you go from there? But I'm rambling a bit and talking way off topic. I made one tiny area in a mud, by no means anything to write home about. Even though I believe I did tell my mom, "Hey, Mom, I made an area of a video game." She's like, "Great. What system will it be on?" I'm like, "Well, it's a mud. It's online." Oh. Anyways, I'm going to wander off as it is Valentine's Day. I'd like to thank you very much for joining me on this brief video. This is the game Aardwolf, where I did meet my wife 14 years ago. And if you want to give it a play, go ahead and visit it. It is Aardwolf. Aardmud.org. You can see it up at the top there, aardmud.org, and you can find it there. Let me go ahead and pull up it's actually aardwolf.com. There we go. So we'll pull up aardwolf.com just so you can kind of get a better... There it is. And it's got a built-in client. You can download the client for Aardwolf. It can also let you know a little bit of what's going on. There are a lot of things that I didn't cover. You can multi-class in the game. You can even do what's called tier, or what you would think of now is called prestiging, which is you get all the way to the end and you go, great, I'm going to go back to being level 1 and try it all over again. And the main reason that you do that is that at level 1, when you're a tier 1, you can use level 11 gear. And then when you tier again, you can use level 21 gear, and then so on and so forth. But it's just a lot of fun. Like I said, I might start playing it again, but that is where I met my wife 14 years ago. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. And as always, play on.